Man, this building, it is quiet as a church this morning. Quiet this Monday morning, Andy. Man, it is like 3 cars in the parking lot. I mean, but it's September, you know. September, all Zeppelin, all September long, man. It's like, dang, you need cooling. Baby, I'm not fooling. I'm gonna send you back to schooling. Way down inside, honey, you need the red lights on. The red light, man. Good Labor Day morning. Good Labor Day Monday morning, everyone. It is Monday, September 2nd. And we are here like we are every Monday morning. What? Bringing you first-class entertainment? Yes, sir, indeed. Let's give a big shout-out to our friends down at the Great Falls Gazette. The friends down there at the Great Falls Gazette, they're here with us this Monday morning. Bet you they're not down there in the office, though. I'll betcha. Man, hot this weekend, Andy. Woof. It's like 95 yesterday, 90 this today. Man, it's going to be hot all week. It's going to be hot for the rest of the September. Man, hot child in the city. Bow, bow, bow. Feeling hot, feeling shitty. I don't know how this song goes. What else is going on today, man? Sunny all day. Is there Labor Day brunch going? Oh, we got to go to brunch. It's Labor Day. We got to go to brunch and eat eggs. High-priced. Yeah. Man, Labor Day weekend, yeah. It marked the beginning of college football this weekend. I mean, come on. With all the usual suspects, I watch games from dusk till dawn. All the usual suspects winning. Of local interest, Montana Grizzlies won, Montana State Bobcats won, and my favorite team, Michigan Wolverines, won. So it's a clean sweep, you know. Everybody opened with opening wins this weekend, yep. But wait, Florida State said, wait a minute, not so much. Yeah, arguing. No, their chances aren't nil. I mean, you can get into the playoffs now, 12-team playoff. I bet you Georgia could get in with a 2-loss, Alabama, somebody like that. Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, it'll be all interesting. Michigan's got Texas next Saturday. Not looking forward to that. I watched the game. They didn't look really good, but they didn't look bad. It's a different team. You know, I've been watching the same Michigan team with J.J. McCarthy and Blake Corum and all them for, Zach Zittner, all them for the last 3 years, and now it's a whole new cast, you know. So we'll see. We will see now. All right. Now, we mentioned it was Labor Day. And most of the country has, 3-day weekend. Some are leaving on Thursday of last week, 4-day weekend. Labor Day marks the official end of summer. Boom, boom, boom. Summer is almost gone. And remember, you're not supposed to wear white outfits after Labor Day. Where the hell did that come from? What's up with that? You know, why can't you wear white after Labor Day? I'm always wearing, black. I'm back in black! So, let's go back. What's going on with the Labor Day? Why can't you wear? What the hell's up with the white? You can't wear white. You go to brunch because it's Labor Day. What did that happen? What now? Okay. All right. Well, I can't sit here and read, but basically, okay, people that were rich wore white in the summer. People working class wore dark clothes. So what does that have to do with the price of tea anywhere? All right. Can you say price of tea in that foreign country anymore, or is that not allowed? It is not allowed. All right. Well, as it's Labor Day, why don't we take a jaunt? It's let's take a jaunt. Okay, Labor Day. Let's talk about Labor Day for a minute. It's a warm summer evening back in the 1800s, the late 1800s, at the height of the Industrial Revolution. You betcha. Da-da-da-da, you say you want a revolution. Well, you know, we all want to change the world. Bah, bah, bah. You knew it was coming. Okay? So we're in the late 1800s, at the height of the Industrial Revolution, here in the United States of America. The average American at that time, in the late 1800s, worked 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. Okay? 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, just to eke out a living. Okay? Just to get by. Okay? Children. That's right, children. Better save the women and children first. Children as young as 5 or 6 worked in mills, factories, and mines. They made them work in mines because they were little, and they didn't have to build as big a cave, mine shaft, whatever. I'm not a miner, okay? I don't know the terminology. So just lay off, Andy. The mines were small, the kids were small. They were in 5 or 6. They're working in factories across the countries. Now, remember that. Remember back then, they didn't have any kind of workers' rights whatsoever. Okay? No rights for the workers. None. Okay? In fact, it was just the opposite. The middle class, working class, lower class, recent immigrants to this country, that total group of people found themselves faced with what? Extremely? They had kids working in mines, for crying out loud, man. So it was extremely unsafe working conditions, to say the least, Andy. I mean, come on. I mean, we've all seen the history books, and we've all seen the old photographs of the factory fires and the mining accidents. You name it. So not only did they have women, men, children working 12 hours a day, 7, 8 days a week. They had no breaks. We're not, let's go gather around the water cooler and talk about the weekend games. There were no games, all right? If you were into working games, what? Did they have workman's comp? Did you just ask if they had workman's comp? Of course they didn't have any workman's comp. What are you nuts? What are you nuts, like the line in Moonstruck, shared with Nicolas Cage? Hey, what are you nuts? Yeah, I mean, there was no workman's comp. There's no unemployment insurance. There's nothing. What it was reminiscent when the change had to come about, because basically A change came about because they were tired of kids working in mines and women dying in sewing factory fires and men working 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. That's not counting the commute time either. They worked 12-hour days, and then they had to drive. Right, they had to drive from like Sacramento to L.A. There's 2-hour drive in traffic. So, geez, back in the 1800s, Model A's, T's, whatever, horses, they weren't very fast. So you had a 4-hour commute, 12-hour workday. Really sucked. So when the change came about, it was like, I don't know, it was like reminiscent of fight scenes out of the movie Hoffa, and fight scenes out of the movie like Gangs of New York, riot scenes. What? Scenes out of Fight Club? Did you just talk? We can't talk about. What are you doing talking about Fight Club? What's the number one rule? Exactly. You don't talk about it. We were talking about fight scenes in movies like Gangs of New York, and because of the change in the labor unions, and then you brought. All right, so anyway, in the late 1800s, the big corporations and owners, they didn't want to use profits for a good workplace, workers' rights, and safe workplace. Huh. Are you sure we're talking about the 1800s and not right? No, I can't say right? Okay. 1800s, but they don't want to use the money they want to use the profits for all themselves and the CEOs. Now, it's not just like, okay, I can't, all right. So anyway, the big corporation and owners, they didn't want to use the profits for workers' rights. I still think that sounds familiar. They did everything, though, to keep the common worker down, okay? And what happened is that manufacturing during the Industrial Revolution, oh yeah, I'm going to go there again. You say you want a revolution, yeah, Anyway, as I was saying, when the country was first founded, we were a agricultural-based country. And the Industrial Revolution came along, and everything started to move from the agriculture to the cities, ag centers to city centers to manufacturing. The Industrial Revolution isn't about farming, it's about manufacturing. Okay? Anyways, I know, I'm getting excited about this. Anyways, workers started organizing, okay? And they became vocal, and they began protesting workers' conditions, right? They're carrying signs and we're protesting, we're working conditions. The kids are in mines. The women are burning up in factories, and men are working 14 hours a day with 18-hour commute from LA to Fresco. All right. Once the workers started protesting, of course, and speaking out and making their voices heard, what do big corporations usually do? They want to suppress the word. Everything's fine here. Move along. Okay, they wanted to just suppress the workers' voice, and that didn't work very well, Andy. Right? From what I got, all these notes we got here, that didn't work out right. In 1882. That's late, 1882, 10,000 workers in New York City took unpaid time off. They're just like, screw it, we're not coming to work. They marched from the City Hall to the Union Square in New York City. Okay, that was basically your first unofficial Labor Day protest march in history. And it had less than positive results with big corporations and law enforcement. They were not happy with it. Okay, 1886, the Haymarket riots. Got it right here. That was in Chicago. Those were people protesting working conditions in Chicago. Their bombs are being thrown. People are fighting. Police die. Workers die. Okay? But, we got, fights, riots, people protesting. Congress is not going to act, okay? Back in the 19th century, late 1800s, Congress is not acting, okay? Kind of reminiscent, yeah. Again, kind of reminiscent. We went walking through the park, playing in the dark and reminiscing. Hurry, don't be late. They're reminiscent, not reminiscing, okay? There's a difference. I just wanted to sing a little river band. All right, anyway. The Congress wouldn't act even after the Haymarket riots in Chicago, where law enforcement and workers died, and continuing protests across the nation for workers' rights, children's rights, women's rights. Big corporations are basically, doing it to the working man. Okay, Congress wouldn't act. All right, period. They wouldn't do it. I know they wouldn't act, Eddie. Not until 1894. What happened in 1894? Pullman, the Pullman Railroad Company, workers, okay, Pullman Railroad, those sleeper cars, okay, workers went on strike and crippled the railroad nationwide, railroad travel nationwide, and how did the big corporate, something's coming, right? Anyway, you got Pullman employees, they're shut down. They're not working nowhere. Okay, their trains aren't running. Okay, how did the big corporations deal with this? Well, I'll tell you how. They asked the federal government to intervene, which the federal government dispatched federal troops, armed, unleashing a wave of riots. Dozens of workers were killed in the clash. In the wake of the massive unrest, nationwide riots, in an attempt to, reparations with the American worker. Congress finally passed an act making Labor Day a legal holiday so that we could go for 3-4 day weekends on June 28th, 1894-ish. 1894. President Grover Cleveland signed it into law. So wait, you're telling me that everybody has today off? Because all the riots and unrest and working conditions. It's like that movie The Millers. Everybody's got the day off. So you're telling me everybody's got the day off? We don't have the day off, Andy? What in the freaking freaks? What? We don't have the day off? Well, we'll show the boss a thing or two. Let's go out there and after the show we'll get some signs. We'll be protesting of what? I am the boss. Well, that's news to me. That's not going to work out very well then if I'm the boss. What kind of Mickey Mouse operation are they running around here? Then you go off and tell me I'm the boss. Boy, that's going to be tough to work out. Man, so Labor Day is all because of big corporations sticking it to the working man, sticking it to the consumer until the public had enough with protests and the riots, and then finally Grover, yeah. You don't see many people named Grover anymore. You think that's because of Grover Cleveland? Signed Labor Day into law, and that's why everybody has the day off today, except for us. All right. Last week, Taylor Swift. Yeah, Taylor. Yeah. Quite the rock star now. I say that loosely, but she's a star and a big one. But Taylor Swift broke her silence about the cancellations earlier in August. That was 3 concerts that they had 3 dates in Vienna that were canceled last month, saying, and this is a quote, we got a quote, having our Vienna shows canceled was devastating, and the reason for the cancellation filled us with a new sense of fear. Okay? Taylor Swift posted that on Instagram just Friday last week. Austrian officials said that the main suspect in this cascade of events was a 19-year-old Austrian man inspired by the teachings and actions of the Islamic State group. He allegedly planned to attack outside of the stadium where upwards of 3,000 fans would be gathered to listen to the concert with homemade explosives device and another 65,000 people were expected inside the concert venue. Were also a target. Searches of the suspects' names. They searched this place. They found out all sorts of stuff. The main subject and a 17-year-old were taken into custody the day before the cancellations. It was too late. They didn't know if there was stuff there. They didn't know how far this had gone. They didn't know if Taylor or anybody else or the thousands of people that had traveled all over the world, worldwide, to come and see Taylor Swift. They didn't know if it was safe or not. Like I said, they were taken into custody. A third suspect, 18, was also arrested, but that was the next day. And none of the names have been released because, why? Why can't we get who they? Because of Austrian rules on juveniles. All right. Yeah, it is serious. Serious concerns there. I mean, the plot itself on the Taylor Swift concerts in Vienna has drawn comparisons to the 2017 attack by a suicide bomber at the the Ariana Grande concert. Grande is an E silence. Okay. In Manchester, England, that killed 22 people. that suicide bomber detonated his bomb as people were done with the concert. You know, the crowds were leaving, and he's leaving too, and then boom. Yeah, it's almost like the Vegas thing too. You know, concerts have now become, you know, concerts have now become another target. You know, schools, movie theaters, shopping malls, now concerts. Great. Wonderful. I always like to go to a concert with the fear that, you know, some guy that doesn't like the band or something is, really. In the, yeah, it's just sad. It is sad, Andy. In the story that broke, though, the CIA was instrumental in helping stop this terrorist attack, if you want to call it that. I don't know if we can call it, you know, they were sympathetic. We don't know. We can call it whatever we want, okay? They were instrumental in helping stop any trouble there in Vienna. A statement released by the CIA reads, in part, it was a pretty good day at Langley, and that's for you, those of you that don't know, the CIA headquarters is based in Langley. Is it Virginia, Andy? All right. It was a really good day at Langley to foil the plot, and not just for the Swifties in the working place. CIA was instrumental because Austrian law does not allow phone taps, and CIA just does allow it and tapped phones and was instrumental. So, all right, CIA busted the guy's terrorist in a plot. All right. Taylor's tour will start again in the fall. We're in the fall, later in the fall. When? October. Okay, thank you. I've been looking at the Eras tour. You know, what an understatement. She is literally, you know, she has literally 3-hour concerts. I mean, geez, man. Watched her do a concert. We were watching it on YouTube the other day. She's going down the change, coming back up. Then she's prancing around barefoot. And Taylor Swift's got, she's made the list. She's got some pretty cute feet. She does. You know, and maybe I'm a Swiftie now. I don't know. Hanging around with Blake Lively. Blake Lively, also cute. And no, what do you mean? Travis Kelce's going to come barreling in the room? You're talking about my girlfriend's feet. What the heck, Andy? I mean, come on. You know, Jennifer Lawrence is still the bomb. Yep, Jennifer Lawrence, Kaylee Coco, the 1 and 2, Megan Fox. Yep. But Kaylee, we were looking at Taylor Swift barefoot. Very good. Yep. Watched Miranda Lambert concert barefoot once. Yep. So, thanks to the CIA for crashing the party of the plans. Can you imagine something of that magnitude? You know, and the Vienna, Austria, released a statement saying that, you know, this had been brewing for a long time. They had intended to hurt as many people as possible. They knew that Americans had been traveling to the concert venue, and that's why it was, a target. Isn't that amazing? Just crazy anymore. All right. Annie, we're done? We're done. Talk about Jennifer Lawrence's nice feet again. All right. We are done for this Labor Day. Remember all the riots that the workers and the protesting that went on so you could have today off? We'll look at it like that. Yep. Andy, we're good for today? We're good for today. Everybody's got the day off. We don't. Everybody remember to spay and neuter. All right? Adopt. Don't shop. All right? Just don't shop. Okay? You can rescue. You can volunteer. You can donate. You can do anything. But hey. Why don't you go and adopt a shelter pet today? Andy, we're out of here. Andy says we are out of here. So until next week, everybody, have a great Labor Day.